Where there is a will, there is a way. What if a genius had the will? There is nothing stopping them from what they want to achieve. I'm not talking about my story. Let's save it for another day. The next guest in my show today hails from a small town in Tamil Nadu. He did his entire schooling in his regional language, which was Tamil, and English was not a part of his curriculum until he entered graduation into one of the most prestigious institutes in India, NIT Bhopal. He topped the university and was a valedictorian, and this was his father's wish. He achieved a lot of things after that in India and US as well, and returned back to India for the love of his country. The twist in the story is he didn't attend his graduation ceremony at last. Let's know more from Kannan Narayanan, Salesforce architect at Infosys. Hey Kannan, how are you?
Hello Kiran, it is my pleasure to be talking to you in this DevTalkie show. You are so generous in your introduction about me. I don't know if I deserve that. I hope I live up to that, some of those expectations. Thank you so much.
You totally deserve whatever I told today. And Kannan, we are really interested to know why you didn't attend your graduation ceremony, because we know that it was your father's biggest wish he had for you. What happened and how did he come to know about it?
As you said, I studied in regional language all along, right? I still remember on the very first day when myself and my father went to the college to get the admission. We were sitting at the porch of the university, and right side, we saw a very gigantic board, roll of honors board, which bore the names of
the valedictorians.
So my father saw that, and then he noticed it, and he told me that 4 years from now, when you graduate, I would like to see your name there, right?
Wow!
It was a very tall order. I didn't want to say anything negative to him, and I said, okay, I will try my best, right? I knew that I had a lot of hurdles to cross, including learning the regional language of that Central India, which is of course Hindi.
And also English as well.
Of course, absolutely. Yeah. First year was a little difficult. Still, I think I did reasonably well. I scored 70 plus percentage, overall. But second year onwards, I think the love of computers came naturally to me, and I did top my class. And from there was no looking back. In the final year, I was topper, valedictorian for the entire university. Then I got a job opportunity through campus interview. I moved to Maharashtra, right?
Because of which you missed your graduation?
Absolutely. I just received a postal notification, but I just had a very short period to, I couldn't travel, right? Couple of years went by. I moved to, US. On one of my birthdays, I received a postal mail from my classmates, which had the photograph of the roll of honors board, which had my name. Then it was a very, very wonderful gift. I shared it with my father afterwards, and I came to know that he became very emotional seeing that. And
you don't need to tell us anything. That reaction, that emotion is priceless.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is your studious side, but I also got to know about you being a crowd puller. Girls were around you all the time you were in college. What about that, Kannan? You know this side of yours?
I don't know how you got that, but in a way, yeah, our computer science class had about a pretty good number of mix, right? We were about 10 plus girl students, and then about 20 of
so
us.
Mr. Tamil Nadu in Bhopal. Huh?
Oh, I don't know about that, but yes, invariably I used to be surrounded by lot of my teammates, right?
Okay.
Classmates. Of course, some of them happened to be girls also, but later I found out it was primarily because that they were looking at me to kind of discuss some of the assignments, and then largely trying to keep me away from any trouble, right?
So you were not the Greek god, but the geek god, is it?
Could be. Maybe at that time, right?
That's fine. We'll get to know more about it from you later in the interview if we can.
Sure.
But Kannan, this has been a very inspirational journey for you, right? coming from that background, you just didn't work in India, but also moved into the US as well.
Right.
You have settled down there. You were a mainframe developer, and then
Yeah.
slowly moved into Microsoft technologies, and also led an integration project. How was this journey from Microsoft technologies into Salesforce? How did that happen? And yeah, how did you come to know about Salesforce?
Yeah, that's very interesting, right? That sometimes you believe in destiny, right?
Yeah.
So just extending to what you mentioned, so I relocated to US within the first couple of years of my professional journey, and I started as a mainframe, a developer, mainframe professional. I continued for most part. At least my first decade was trying to kind of graduate within that mainframe journey, right? Still being technical, right? And then I always coming back to India was always in my one of the to do things, right? In my plan was there, and I was trying to prepare myself for that return back journey. So as a result, I used to kind of I pursued part-time masters, MS as well as MBA, because I really want to keep my options open, right? I always
Correct.
had that belief that maybe when I come back, I would have been like maybe a decade or two older, right? In the sense, in the professional journey. So if I want to fit in the Indian job stream and everything.
So you wanted to stay relevant according to the market.
Absolutely, absolutely. My thought process was that I had to probably fit into the management career somewhere, right? So that's where I was kind of trying to prepare myself. And meanwhile, I was also trying to expand my technology background, and I moved to open source, then eventually to Microsoft technologies, like you said. I set up an entire integration practice for my organization, etc. Right? And time came, beginning of last decade, about 2011 approximately. By the time I had lived in US good almost close to 2 decades, right? 18, 19 years, right? I've been far away from Indian job market and all, right? And that's where I kind of started testing the waters here, and the reality really hit me, right? What I had in my mind, my impression versus what was the expectation in the job market was a little different, right?
Yeah, India has matured totally by then.
Absolutely mature, right? So gone are the days that they would kind of roll a red carpet for somebody who has been in US,
Right.
as well as a generalist manager role and all, right? So I realized that I needed to be further get into a niche area, right? This is where one of the lunch conversation I had with one of my colleagues, and again I'm still thankful to him. And he was a kind of a technical person, geek, right? So me and him, we were talking casually, and then he was telling me, "Hey, look, I just had a kind of orientation from one of these companies, and what is their the toll free number?" I said, "What?"
Wow.
He said, "Hey, 1-800 no software." And then we are laughing, right? He said,
1-800 no software.
No software, right? Can you imagine a company which is in the software business saying no software,
No
right?
software. Yeah, that's interesting.
Exactly.
Very interesting.
That intrigued me, right? Then I started kind of doing some little bit of research, and then that's when I was kind of getting more into some of those cloud software as a service, etc. Right? And immediately I got pulled into it, attracted to this. Then I was talking to my manager, who had the responsibility of setting up the Salesforce practice also at that time, right? And he told me that, yeah, we just had a Salesforce, initial certificate, orientation for some of the folks, and then they were supposed to kind of do a certification also, but nobody is ready to, we are not raising their hands, and we are not doing any certification. I have all these vouchers left with me. You want to try your luck, right? He challenged me. I said, why not, right? Then the next couple of months, I was kind of setting up a sandbox or a developer edition, and then I was kind of learning, and instantly I fell in love, because it was all refreshing, right? This I'm talking about again back in 2011, right? Very refreshing, and I usually feel like any validation of any learning that we have had, it's a formal certification will go with that, right?
Correct.
Of course, certification alone will not do anything, right? But then I had the learning I want to validate. I just went and appeared for at that time, Dev 401, right, developer certification, and I passed it. I think with a reasonable comfortable score. Although those days they don't give a breakdown of scores and all. And my manager was very thrilled. He said, "Hey, now I want to give the responsibility of setting up a Salesforce practice also with you, right? but then I had a
So you had to
that
return
opened
back
up
to India after that.
exactly that
Which is
that
why,
opened up a lot of opportunities for me. So with that renewed skill, I kind of relooked at the job market, and fortunately I got an opportunity.
And you came back to India.
Yes, as a delivery manager role. So that's how I kind of started my Salesforce journey.
Wonderful. I think you should thank your friend for having lunch with you and talking to you about Salesforce, and also remember the lunch you had. It's good to have it every day.
Absolutely. We are still friends, right? He still lives in Michigan, and we are still friends. I totally
Cool,
agree.
cool. So, Kanan, you got into Salesforce. You've been in mainframes and Microsoft. What is it very unique about Salesforce which attracts you?
Yes. Definitely. See, many of the platforms, and again, although it's not a direct comparison, right? When you get in, right, the initial days, right, the first X months, whatever, right, weeks, you have learning in abundance, right? Everything that you come across, it's a learning for you, and you get to learn so much. With Salesforce, it is the case, like every month, right, every year, right, because the versatility of this platform, the way it has been growing, right, it's just been tremendous, right? That one thing is kind of keeping me very much glued to this platform, right? As they say, right, innovation is the antidote to monotony or boredom, right? So Salesforce as a platform is definitely giving you that antidote for all of us, right, and help us stay relevant. Yes.
I totally agree with you. It has become very versatile. It's keeping on adding new stuff to its platform, which makes you, be on your feet. It's got,
Yes.
3 releases every year. And
Absolutely.
So been there, done that, ideology or concept doesn't just work with Salesforce, right?
Exactly.
Awesome. So, Kanan, tell us something. What is that one advice you have for Salesforce developers these days? These days.
I mean, I will break it into two parts, right? What advice I will give to younger self of myself, right? And then what I will give, because it's in a way it's a
By the way, let me tell you, Kanan, Salesforce has returned you back your youth. You're in your feet now, learning every day.
Oh, 100%. That way I'm really, really thankful to this platform and this community, right? Because it really helped me to rediscover my identity, professional identity, no doubt.
Right.
So if I were to give an advice to my own younger self, right? I would say that, don't be afraid of, taking risk, right? All along, if I see, I had been a bit maybe conservative, right? So that's the advice I will give to myself, right?
Right.
But then when I really look at, fortunately in my current role and some of the additional activity I do, I get to interact with a lot of Gen Zs, right? Which is, I'm very fortunate. That's another reason, right? I'm really, I'm glued to this platform, right? And it keeps me very intact, emotionally and mentally, right?
Right.
So the Gen Z folks, I mean, they are not afraid of taking risks. So that part is already been given to them, right? Lot of macroeconomic conditions also help them provide a lot of career opportunities. So that part is taken care. However, one advice I would like to give, or a tip I would like to give is, I see a tendency of being very, impatient, right? People try to, come and start, associated with the platform, and they think that within a month or two, they think that they know everything, right?
Correct.
And they look for some other opportunity, right?
Right.
So that's the only area where I would say, whatever you do, excel yourself. Right?
Correct.
Even if it is just moving a paper from one place to another, right? You should be the best in what you do. Right?
Exactly.
That thought process of excellence, if it is there, and that is the biggest, companion you could have. So that's the only tip I would tell developers. So when you're really, exploring a platform, as an example, LWC, right? Try to kind of just, you have a lot of opportunities to learn the code snippet or get the code snippet from elsewhere. But
Correct.
yes, but kind of try to kind of dig deep and try to learn and go real deep, right? That's the only, again, a tip I would love to, give to.
No, it's
younger
a wonderful
generation.
advice, right? No fear of failure and have patience and go deep into what you want to learn.
Yes. Absolutely.
That's a wonderful advice. Thank you so much, Kanan. It is really useful. Kanan, and you know, you've been part of the community and have contributed in several ways. In fact, the other day you were interacting with one of the community groups in India, and you did give a talk. So what comes to your mind when you think of the Trailblazer community in the APAC region?
Oh, very, very vibrant community, right? And people have that enthusiasm, right?
Right.
And that DNA has been imbibed, right, by this Salesforce as an organization itself, right? The thought process of 111, right, and giving back to the community, right? That culture not only is there, in my opinion, within the organization, it has spread to the entire ecosystem, right? So that is being spread out in these communities and all. So I mean, true to that, and that also aligns with my, as you were saying, like my association with a lot of communities and some of those activities is also because of my organization's values that aligns closely with Salesforce also, right? We also have a lot of CSR initiatives. So from those, some of those initiatives I used to connect with Campus Connect and then get the opportunity to talk to a lot of graduates and students.
Oh yeah,
right?
we know all you're doing for the community, and we know that you interact a lot with the youngsters who are the next generation of the future of Salesforce ecosystem. That is wonderful, and thank you so much for that. Thank you for being part of Dev Talkies, Kanan. It's been a pleasure hosting you, and we know that you are a big fan of John Grisham novels, which is why we are presenting you the latest book of John Grisham, Sule. It's a huge hit in the market. It's a story of a very talented youngster and his challenges and how he overcame them. And also, you need to know time when you're reading these novels. We know that you get really studious, and that is why we are also presenting you a nice cool watch so that you can keep track of time and spend some time with kids during this pandemic as well.
Oh, thank you so much. It's my pleasure, once again being in this, show and then talking to all of you. And then, yes, John Grisham is one of my favorite, authors, right?
Yeah.
He writes a lot of everything about this lawyer and then the legal aspects, and most of his stories revolves
around. The latest book is really interesting. I think you should go through this.
Absolutely. It will rekindle my interest in his novels because I was a little bit, not catching up to some of his latest novels. Thank you so much.
That's our goal.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kanan. Thank you so much for being part of Dev Talkies. Do you like us? Is it? How do we know that? Okay, do this. Please comment, like, and subscribe to our videos. Then we will know it.